Mark Stoops, speaking of football statistics and numbers, they're not very encouraging. Let's see. Recent numbers tell a story that mixes frustration and hope. Kentucky has accumulated 9 consecutive home losses against powerful SEC opponents, or traditional rivals like Louisville. These matches, often marked by moments of brilliance and resilience, have ended in bitter results for the blue and white fans. Narrow defeats to giants like Georgia and Tennessee show that the program is on the right track, but still lacks that final piece of the puzzle to topple the conference giants. Meanwhile, matches against Alabama and Louisville expose the gaps that still need to be filled for Kentucky to reach new heights. Since November 2021, Kentucky's record in SEC games at Kroger Field is modest. Just 2 wins in a period in which other programs, even those considered less traditional, have managed to make progress. This number is not only a reflection of the team's struggles, but also a clear indication that the next step for Stoops and his team is to learn how to close out games against elite opponents. The 6-2-63 statistic, when trailing early in the fourth quarter, reinforces this reality. In 6 of their last 8 home losses against SEC teams, the Wildcats led by double digits on 3 occasions, but failed to hold on to that advantage until the final whistle. This inability to sustain momentum in decisive moments is a crucial area that needs to be addressed if the program is to continue its rise. However, it would be unfair to reduce Stoops' trajectory to these numbers alone. Under his leadership, Kentucky has gone from a team struggling to avoid losing seasons to a program that regularly competes in major bowls, attracts high-level talent, and competes in games that once seemed unattainable. The progress is visible, even if the obstacles remain significant. Stoops has demonstrated a knack for assembling competitive rosters and developing players who later shine in the NFL. He also created a culture of hard work and resilience that has already yielded significant results, such as the historic victory over then undefeated LSU in 2018 and the Citrus Bowl win that same season. The challenge now is to find ways to overcome these critical moments in games against the conference's best. Consistency at home is a key component in this process. The support of the fans at Kroger Field has always been a key differentiator for the Wildcats, and maintaining this vibrant environment will be essential for the team's continued growth. If there's one lesson to be learned from the past, it's that the attendance decline recorded in 2012, during Joker Phillips' tenure, serves as a reminder of what can happen when optimism gives way to frustration. Stoops, with his firm stance and commitment to program growth, seems determined to prevent that from happening again. Looking ahead, there's reason for optimism. The solid foundation built by Stoops offers a promising starting point for solving current problems, with strategic adjustments, especially in mental preparation to close out tight games, and continued investment in recruiting. Kentucky has everything it needs to make the necessary qualitative leap. Furthermore, the experience gained from recent defeats can serve as fuel for future victories. Each setback, however painful, brings valuable lessons that can be applied in future opportunities. Mark Stoops is not just a coach. He is an architect of a new era for Kentucky football. His achievements thus far are undeniable, and the challenges faced at Kroger Field are just another chapter in this construction. For fans, the message is clear. Progress is not linear, but the course is being charted with care and determination. The next big step may be closer than it seems, and when it happens, Kroger Field will certainly once again be a cauldron of emotion and celebration. Until then, it is up to the team, the coach, and the fans of the blue and white jersey to keep the faith and continue believing in the project that has already proven itself capable of great things. And, of course, to do a great job, leave your opinion. Oh, I can't believe it. But, let's get to the news. Kentucky basketball is losing ground with one of its top targets for 2026. In Lexington, attention is turning to one of the biggest behind-the-scenes topics of this preseason, the future of 5-star point guard Tay Keaney. The 2026 recruit, considered one of Kentucky's top targets for months, appears to have left the Wildcats in a precarious position in the race for his commitment. The landscape has changed quickly, and today, Louisville and Kansas appear to be in the lead, raising alarm bells for Mark Pope and his coaching staff. Keaney, who for much of the recruiting process was seen as strongly leaning toward Kentucky, now has Louisville as his main competitor and Kansas as a real threat. Bill Self's program arrived late, but with enough intensity to overtake the Wildcats in the competition. The symbolic detail is that both Pope and the Cardinals coach recently traveled at midnight for home visits, a clear demonstration of absolute priority. The young point guard has already made official visits to Kentucky, Louisville, Kansas, Indiana, and Oregon, even canceling commitments he had with Texas and Miami. He has only one visit left on his schedule, Arkansas, scheduled for late September. This timetable suggests the decision may come sooner than the Wildcats expected, reducing the time to maneuver for a turnaround. In Keaney's own words, Kentucky still left a good impression. The prospect praised Pope's style of play, highlighting the speed, spacing, and emphasis on three-point shooting. This statement shows that the coach's work in his first major recruiting season has not gone unnoticed, and that there is still room to rebuild trust in the process. The challenge will be to transform this positive perception into a competitive advantage against rivals who are also making strong moves. Louisville, for its part, is betting on a straightforward approach. It wants Kinney as Michael Brown's immediate successor, making it clear that he would be a central piece of the project. Kansas brings the weight of Bill Self, the recent national title, and the expectations surrounding Darren Peterson's development, creating a compelling story for any elite recruit. Kentucky, though now at a disadvantage, still has the historical prestige, tradition, and promise of prominence under Pope's management. The good news for the Wildcats is that the basketball department isn't limited to a single target. The staff remains firmly in the hunt for Deron Rippey Jr., another five-star point guard, which shows that Pope has a broad plan for the 2026 class. The ability to keep multiple active options leaves room for course adjustments if Kinney does indeed opt for Louisville or Kansas. However, it would be a mistake to downplay Kinney's importance. His talent, versatility, and court vision make him a player capable of changing the course of a program. Pope knows this, and that's precisely why this recruitment deserves all the attention possible. Amid the leadership transition and the effort to solidify its identity, Kentucky needs players who not only play, but also symbolize the new era. Kinney could be one of those players. The outcome is still uncertain, but it's undeniable that this is a crucial moment. Pope will need to combine persistence, strategy, and the strength of the Kentucky brand to put the Wildcats back on top. The fight for Kinney isn't just for a player. It's a reflection of the new game of college basketball recruiting, where every move must be calculated. Let's move on.